Hello, everybody. It's Lord Magicus, and it is stream night once again. We're gonna play Legacy today, so let's get that all set up. All right. First things first, I need the deck. So, mana traders, if you would be so kind, let's borrow our cards. Okay. Yep. Eternal Weekend is coming up here. We gotta get some practice in for this before that happens. So, we're gonna be playing a little bit of Legacy until we are comfortable with this. Let's see here. Do not need to borrow Force. Do not need to borrow Cavern of Souls. Do not need the other Force, and do not need Chalice because I have them. There we go. Oh, yeah, I don't need the borrowers either. Okay, good. We can rent these guys. And just those, like, few cards. I think it's like 10 cards. It's like half the value of the deck. No, it's a little more than that. Okay, here we go. Everything is going good. All right. There, we can bring this up while we're waiting. So, how about that Hasbro, stock? Just like, definitely has not been a good week for Hasbro. And definitely not been a good week for Twitter either. That's been interesting following along with that. There we go. We got all the cards. I think both Chris Bigcox and Elon Musk are speed racing, or yeah, they're speed running to see who can burn the company to the ground faster. Absolutely just insane times. But in the meantime, we still have fishes. That's right, we have fishes. Good, we have a deck list too. Yeah, this all looks correct. And I think, yeah, it looks like everything has gone well. We are... Yeah, I think this is good. All right. Hopefully in a few minutes here we'll get people to join us. And started a little bit earlier than I normally do, but it's okay. They'll figure it out. I see everybody's starting to notice, so... Okay. Yeah, we're gonna play Legacy because we have to get some practice in for Eternal Weekend, and this is what I'm gonna try today. So, yeah, you might notice there's something a little bit interesting about this deck list. So, after having played Modern over the weekend and decided that I didn't really need Silvergill Adept, I'm interested to try that concept in Legacy and see if I can also get away with it there without needing Silvergill. Because it turns like most of the matches that we're losing are not ones where Silvergill is really contributing a whole lot. Like it's generally matches where Silvergill is just terrible in like attacking and blocking. So in Modern, what I did is I ended up using Harbinger of the Tides and Spreading Seas there. And we don't need like Spreading Seas here, but Harbinger of the Tides definitely seems like it couldn't matter. So we have True-Name Nemesis instead of Spaloon here, which makes this Glasspool Mimic a little bit better to include in this. So, we've played with Mimic before. I want to give it another shot. I was not sure what I wanted to do with the mana base here, so was looking at all kinds of options between running 19 lands, 20 lands, or just 21 lands, maybe like 2 fiery islets in those slots, and I decided that let's try the 2 mimics here. I've debated on Phantasmal Image in some of those slots, so I thought maybe like 2 image could be fine. But I'm willing to try Glasspool again. So it's like, half of a land, but also like half of a creature. And it's like a land that does pitch to a force if we need to. Copying True-Name is a way to win against a lot of matches, which is nice. But especially because we're playing with Harbinger of the Tides in this main deck, copying Harbinger and bouncing stuff is always fun. It can help us, swing races back into our favor. So thought that might be a way to go. We'll see. And the sideboard here, mostly the same sort of stuff we've been playing with. We're going to try Blue Elemental Blast again. Out of all the slots that we're playing in the sideboard, I think that's the one that I'm the least sure about. A lot of people have been playing the Blue Elemental Blasts in that spot, though, so it seems like it's probably fine. Yeah, it could very easily be something else, like a different counterspell, maybe like Flusterstorm or something. Or maybe like another force and like another sideboard card of something else. But I'm willing to give this a try. I mean, according to MTG Top 8, like the mono red prison deck is significantly like it's I think it's like 5%, so it's not a bad thing. Like Delver's also a deck where the blast is really good, and like honestly a lot of those like blue red decks will even like the 4-color control deck, it might not be a terrible idea because they're like all gonna have like Pyroblast and stuff, and it also kills like Mince and Boo, which is kind of cool. It's not always gonna have like a ton of targets for some of these decks, so it's like I'm not sure how often I'll bring it in, but definitely versus at least Delver in the prison deck, like for sure that seems like it's good there, and then maybe against some of like the 4-color control decks I might consider it. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. It's at odds with Chalice on 1 a little bit, but the way I see it, if we have Chalice on 1, we're probably winning anyway. And also, Mince and Boo is a problem that I've been thinking about as well. I'm not really sure how to deal with it, so I'm hoping that Harbinger of the Tides can help a bit, because their hamster token gets trample and haste, so it will likely be attacking you as soon as it's in play, which means Harbinger can bounce it, or you can sometimes combo Trickster with Harbinger in order to get rid of it, so there is a little bit of utility between it, so we'll see if that might be enough. Like the elemental blast is something it might be worth bringing in. It also counters stuff like expressive iteration, so it's not terrible against some of these decks anyway for that reason. Yeah, and like I said, against the Delver deck, if you have Chalice in 1, then it's not really that big a deal that you can't cast Blast. Because if they ever remove the Chalice, then you just like have the Blast to kill off like the Dragon's Rage Channeler, or counter the like iterations, or even counter their own Pyroblasts. So other than that, all the rest of the stuff is normal. Like Hearse is gonna be fine to bring in against like the Uro decks. Nice value card for that. So yeah, I don't know. Like there's definitely some ideas that could change in this deck, but I wanted to give the Harbinger idea a try because I'm interested in exploring this concept where instead of playing Silvergill and hoping that we draw a card that does something, we play Harbinger because it is a card that actually does something. I mean, again, especially against like the Delver deck, like Harbinger is really good. It is one of the best cards we can have against them. So it being uncounterable off of Cavern of Souls is a huge advantage over something like Brazen Borrower. So we're going to give it a try. We'll see how it does. Maybe it'll impress us. But I mean, Harbinger is also going to help against stuff like Death and Taxes, so we'll see. Yeah, and it is best friends with Trickster. Alright. Yeah, playing with Glasspool at 21 lands is, it a little bit like helpful because we're using Wasteland as a spell sometimes, so you have slightly more mana sources, but also still the potential to like have extra copies of like True-Name Nemesis, so taking Vial up to 3 is a little bit better. Alright. We are on the play. Sadly, we are not keeping that. I think we are going to keep this. I just get rid of a force. I'm going to just pass here. I don't want to play the 1-drop just yet because I might need to pitch it to Force of Will. We're up against, like, goblins. Ooh, that's not good. Goblin Lackey. That's not ideal. Yeah, okay. So this Force of Will is going to do absolutely nothing here. Well, this is not really the matchup that we were hoping for. Well, now Force is online this turn, so that might be helpful. Well, Lackey's probably not attacking, so... I think I'm supposed to just attack and then play Hexcatcher. They don't play any 0-drops really for Chalice to do anything, so there's no point to playing it. I'm going to guess that they're going to... Okay, they have a mountain here. There's not really a good reason for them to fetch there. Yeah, when tribes collide, sadly, Goblins is the deck that usually has the advantage here, so... Yeah. Well, if they try to play a thing, then we're going to force it when pitch Glasspool. Yeah, we're definitely going to fucking force that. We are not going to let Goblin Lackey hit us because Muxus is a problem, so... Yeah, if Muxus comes into play, like, we're going to die, so we can't do that. That's not bad. If we can find another land for it. Well, this thing still has Island Walk, which is nice. Card named Pile Driver. Yeah. I think they play like one Pile Driver now. Because they have, like, so many good options. Like, the new Goblin Lord, I think, took some of the slots that Piledriver was in. But they still have at least usually one, I believe, so they can find it off of Matron. It's not really good for us, though. Yeah, Ringleader is going to get them a bajillion cards. I can't do anything about that. Alright, what do we got here? They found Matron, Prospector, and Crater Maker. That's really bad for us. Crater Maker can take away our master at any given point, so yeah, you may as well attack because blocking is not a fucking option. I'm taking 2 damage no matter what I do here. So maybe 3 if they have the Lord. I have to be careful because they definitely can Vial and Crater Maker, so that's probably what they'll do here. Take it up for Matron. Okay, I guess I'm just attacking with Tide Shaper because I still have Island Walk. Probably not enough to race this, but I have to try, so. Goblins is a terrible matchup for us. Pretty much like all the tribal matches in like all the formats are usually not very good for Merfolk. We are set up to fight non-creature stuff, and this is all creature stuff. Like, our True-Name can kill them in 3 turns, but we can easily die, like, in 1 or 2 turns. Very easily, so. Yeah, there's Crater Maker. Like, yeah, they have Prospector and Goblin Matron in their hands, so they can, like, take up Aether Vial here. Yeah. They have the option of going Matron, Violet cast the Prospector, sacrifice 3 goblins here, and then cast Muxus and like potentially just win from there. They're gonna do War Chief. All right, that's fine. Like, they don't even have to go for that. Oh yeah, like Sling. Yeah, this is not good for us either. They have the ability now to drain us for a bajillion life with this thing. It's rough. Like, their board is going very sideways very quickly. I can block and kill, like, one thing, but it's not I don't even know if they need to attack here, to be honest. No, they probably do have to attack. Okay, yeah, they're going to attack. They have a Lord. All right. They have not played the Matron yet, which is just, right, yeah, it's terrible, so that can only mean bad things for us. So they played the Crater Maker, so that's off. And they did play this, so they have 2 cards left, and Matron is one of them. Interesting. They are. So the thing is, if I block this, they'll probably just sacrifice. I'll sacrifice it and use it to kill my Master of the Pearl Trident. They can do that anyway, though. I mean, I may as well force them to do it. Maybe they won't pay attention to it. No. No, they don't sacrifice it to... okay, that's interesting. They did not sacrifice it to actually... okay, it's... okay, well... even if we draw a Lord, they can still throw away enough creatures to live through this, so it's not actually lethal yet. But I think they should have definitely considered killing the Master of the Pearl Trident here, because if I draw a Lord, they're going to have... yeah, like, we do have a lot of damage coming across here. If we draw, like, Lord of Atlantis. And we still have Island Walk, so it'd be very dangerous. Ooh. Alright, well... I might have to kill... alright, we're at 8, so... this is gonna be rough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like yeah, if we take 2 damage, we're dead. So like we actually are kind of just dead here. Oh yeah, we're taking some fucking damage. That is for sure. There is basically like no winning plan at this point. I think if we drew a Lord this turn, we could attack with all these with our Island Walk. So this would be 5, 8, and 12. So we force them to sacrifice at least like 2 things in order to stay, or sacrifice at least 3 things to stay alive. But even then, it's not clear that that's a victory because they still have the option to like matron into like Muxus and try to kill us that way, which is very likely to work. You know, we have Trickster, which can like, I don't know, maybe tap this down. Or maybe I'm supposed to tap this thing down in their upkeep. I can block 2 things, potentially. I have to attack them, I think, with the Tide Shaper. I probably should attack with the Master of the Pearl Trident. That's potentially an option. Because they just try to block with, like, a Siege Gang. Yeah, I guess trading is not the end of the world for us with that. Actually, I don't even know that they're not. If I attack with this, they probably aren't even going to block. Yeah, there's no reason for them to get greedy with this. So let's see. If we use Trickster, like we can tap down one. Like they're probably no matter what we do, are going to kill us. But I'm trying to figure out what the best way is to have them make a mistake somehow. Like maybe if they just go to attacks and think that like is there any way we could survive them attacking us? They attack us with everything. Like I Trickster this guy in combat, so these all become 1s or something. They still have 6 things to sacrifice. So if we take 2 damage, then we're dead. So we block like 3 of them. Like yeah, 2 is still gonna come across. So probably have to hit this in the upkeep. Right, and then assuming they don't use it, then like maybe True-Name and Trickster can block some. Or I can block like 3 things to not die, so they won't have this. But they have the ability to just matron for like a million things, so that's not even clear that that would actually do anything. I don't think that there's any actual way to win here. Like, even if we block everything, I don't think it actually matters. Alright, I guess maybe yeah, well, let's say this is Trickster down, or maybe if we Trickster this thing down, this will be 2. We can block 1, 2, 3, take 7, but yeah, there's no way that this is gonna work. We can block 4 things. I have to like hit this thing in the upkeep though. But no, we are like definitely dead. For sure. I don't actually, this doesn't even work because then they'd be able to just sacrifice everything on our turn, so even that's not good. Right, I'm just gonna hit this, I guess. Yeah, like this is all losing. It doesn't really matter what we pick at this point because like their ability to kill us is it's just there's nothing we can do. Pile Driver itself, if they have that in the main deck, is probably enough. Like Muxus is enough. Like We know with Matron they can just find it and then kill us. So okay, well they don't go for that route, so that's interesting. Oh, they don't even have to attack me at this point. Like, they actually just have lethal on board just because of this, so sure. Let's let them show us what they have, but like at this point they can just sacrifice all their creatures and we just die. They reveal Mog War Marshal. Okay, yeah, I believe you. They're just gonna go and kill us with pings. That's one way to do it. Okay, we don't really have a lot here. Chalice is not good. We need Dismember. I guess Brazen Borrower is probably still better than Force of Will. And it's really about all we can do. Yeah. I don't think the hearse is... It's not worth it here because they don't really put a lot of stuff in their graveyard, so even getting this thing to be a creature is just unlikely at best. I'm not sure that even drawing a Lord necessarily would have been good enough, but at least it might have given us another turn if we did, so we would have forced them to throw away some creatures. Sure, I guess. They mulligan to 6. Alright, well. I don't know that we're like, I guess maybe I have to play the Tide Shaper, but it's... Island's Walk is definitely, like, important in order to try to kill them, but them also just having a lackey or something is dangerous, and I need to be able to put as much pressure on the board as I can, too. Sure, you have an Aether Vial. Wasteland is not doing anything here. I guess Merfolk. Attack. We'll flash in Trickster and whatever, and then maybe Harbinger. Yes, we are playing Legacy today, Monster CC. But Goblins is not the thing you want to start off against. This match is extremely difficult. They just had, like, everything in game 1, too. It wasn't, like, a total blow. There was a chance. Like, if we had drawn a Lord, like, there was maybe a chance, but we did not draw a Lord, so it did not help our cause. I have to play creatures, or otherwise I'm not going to win, so... Yeah, we are testing our 2 Glasspool Mimics in our deck, which, to be honest, I might even cast it this turn. Actually, this might be a good turn to Wasteland this thing. And play Harbinger of the Tides. We'll see. Okay, well, we're probably going to play True-Name Nemesis now. Because if I play True-Name and then copy it with Glasspool, that is definitely a way to win these games. I don't think there's anything they can put in on 1 here that makes a huge difference to me. Yeah, like, Glasspool is fine to play, but it's also fine not to play. I know exactly what you mean. Alright, well, this is kind of why we have it, because just there to copy True-Name Nemesis, and that might just be how we have to, like, go about this game. Yeah, no, we definitely know what the next few turns are going to look like here. So hopefully we live long enough for it to matter. They have some incredibly explosive players, or explosive plays that are hyper dangerous. So there's Lackey. So like we have to have something back that can like, True-Name's gonna have to block this probably because the threat of them just like putting like anything that's like 3 or more value into play for free is just insane. And we'll see what they do here, but I guess they probably can't attack this turn. Yeah, there's Matron. That's not great. So they're gonna dig for some tools here. But on the plus side, we will be able to mimic and copy True-Name so that they got Muxus here, so they're setting up. So next turn they are going to Muxus the fuck out of us, so that should be fun. Oh fuck! I kind of want to land so I can Wasteland this thing now. Okay, well that is what I was looking for. I'm gonna put this one on Rogue. There is a non-zero chance that they have like Pyroblast, and I do not want them countering this Glasspool. And I guess we just have to hope they don't have like another land. Then if they violate a creature, they have to throw away everything. And then maybe we get lucky enough where Muxus is just does not find anything. It is definitely possible they have a Lord here to put in. So I guess I'm just attacking with True-Name. Yeah, they should give out Magic Online codes for the secret layers. Like, it's ridiculous that they don't. I'm pretty sure, like, Pokemon does that, where if you buy, like, any, like, booster pack or, or any like, paper product, you get, like, a code for it to be able to play it online, too. And I think Wizards did that for a little while. They at least did it with some of the arena stuff. I know, like, if you bought, like, an intro pack, you could get it. So I don't know why like they don't just go hard on that. It's like, okay, here, if you buy our paper stuff, you can also buy it for online at the same time. That seems like a no-brainer to me. Okay, Muxus is happening here, and there's nothing we can do about it. Yep. If we live through this, Harbinger can potentially bounce it, and then maybe we'll be okay. If they just miss a lot. They did not miss. Fuck. Alright, that was brutal. Well, okay, well, the good news is that it doesn't have haste right now, so it's not attacking right here. They don't have the technology, There are like a million things that like, Wizards and Hasbro could be doing to like not, throw away the entirety of their company at the moment, but they seem to be incapable. So I guess we're going to see if our opponent has the War Chief in hand. They're going to just kill off my creature. That's not a good sign. If they, Pashinka, okay, so that's still really bad, but, it could be worse, I guess. Okay, well, we will have a blocker for Muxus, but it might not matter because the rest of this might just be enough to kill us anyway. Yeah, no, there was a pretty good flip. They just casually, put in like, was it 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 They put in 11 CMC of permanents into play for free, so I don't think this Wasteland is gonna matter right now. It's true, like, they might just be at the point where they just don't care about the triggers, and it's... Or did they find this too and they just vialed in another one? That's interesting. They have 2 cards left. Or no, I'm sorry, that's the revealed pile now. Okay, that's not there. Okay. So we gotta think here. If let's say that we copy, True-Name here and to block Amuxus, is that enough to actually not die? Because this is gonna deal 5. The Tide Shaper may as well not exist because they can just throw away a token to kill it and also ping us for 1. So at the moment, every single goblin they control is worth 2 damage to us. So this is 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. They only have to deal like 4 damage to us. Which means I probably need Harbinger of the Tides to bounce this and then attempt blocks. So, fuck, that sucks. And I have to be able to... I don't think it's going to matter. Like... Ugh. I could just throw a True-Name in front of that and then use Harbinger to bounce this guy if it attacks, but that's also... I don't know, it's... I don't feel like playing or putting another True-Name in play is not going to be enough, because if... Yeah, I can't block everything, and the way that things are going right now, I will just be dead. And, oh, you know what? No, this isn't even going to work because they have Rishit in port, so, yeah, that plan is actually completely worthless if they just port me down. Alright. We'll see. Like, yeah, no matter what we do, we're just kind of in trouble here. If they, like, use port, we lose. But, like, even if we play Glasspool and copy this, we're still dead because they have way more than enough to kill us. Like, I just kind of need them to attack and just screw up somehow. Okay, well, that should be enough. They should just Wasteland me and port me here. Yeah, we can safely concede here. Like, they have the ability to just deal us a bajillion damage, and that's all there is to it, so... Yeah, sadly, the mana did not, like... Yeah, they had the interaction for a mana, so, like, flashing Harbinger in wasn't really a plan at that point, so... Yeah. It's a rough match to start with, but, like, Goblins is not a match that you're expected to win very often with Fish, so... That's just how that goes. The Wasteland did end it, but technically the port could have also ended it too. That's just how it is. Alright, we're on the play. This is actually pretty tempting, but we don't have another land, and sadly I am not willing to keep this without another land. This is a little bit better, but not by much. We're going to need some help. There is a very strong possibility I might have to Tide Shaper my own Wasteland. Usually you don't really like having to keep forces in a game 1. Okay, so basic swamp means this might be Reanimator. But one of the reasons that, yeah, in Legacy I'm more inclined to keep a force even on a mulligan because there are decks where you need it in turn 1, so... And I think I'm going to use Tide Shaper on this swamp and just hope that this is like Reanimator and that this is actually going to work. And that maybe Force will help us here. Okay, well, they don't do anything here. That's not a good sign. Because it's probably not Reanimator. They would not have kept a 7 like that without it, so. That does actually help a little bit. Alright, well, we may as well play it. I don't know what's going on here, but they kept 7 cards. I don't know how many decks actually have, like, 2 basic swamps in them. That doesn't fill me with joy. I guess it could be Doomsday as well, so... if it is Doomsday, then keeping them off of triple black is also important. And Doomsday is another game or another match where Force of Will matters. So uh, do, 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 do. If I attack for 5, play True-Name Nemesis, is that I don't think that's actually enough to. Well, okay, this might matter. Okay, let's say this is Doomsday because right now that's what it feels like. It mostly it could be Mono Black Helm, but yeah, they might have done something here because they haven't played any fetch lands either. I don't think Doomsday would just have 3 basic swamps just in hand. So here's the thing, El Rodeo San. We are playing a bunch of Legacy because Eternal Weekend is coming up in Philadelphia in about a month. Actually, like, what, 3 weeks from now? So I need to get some practice with Legacy in. I think that I'm going to play True-Name Nemesis here. That might be the way to go. And Harbinger is probably just my force food. Alright, we just have to hope force is enough to keep us alive. They're at 12 here. So it'll be 5, 9, 10, 11. Okay, well, if they use the Ancient Tomb, they're actually, like, dead, so... Oh, actually, no, we had lethal here. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, miscounted this. So, yeah, that was 4. It was exactly 12. So, yeah, it was fine. Okay, so a bunch of basic swamps and ancient tomb. So, uh, so yeah, you might be on to this mono black helm thing right now, which I have almost no experience playing against, but that does sound like that's probably what's going on. Something like that. So I'm going to say that Null Rod is probably important. Think. I'm not sure if Chalice on 1 matters or not. They kept a really shitty hand, yeah, but like, what? I don't think that there's no other deck that I can fathom that would have 3 basic swamps plus Ancient Tomb. Like, it feels like it has to be that. So probably Force of Negation comes in. Like, I don't. Oh, fuck. All right. I am not familiar with what these lists look like at all. We have a minute and 30 seconds to figure it out. Okay, fuck. All right. I need some help here. All right. So Plague Engineer definitely looks like it's a possibility. Shieldred's a thing. Chrome Mox, Leyline of the Void. Okay, so I'm gonna guess that maybe Dismember is actually important. Maybe True-Name Nemesis is, or probably Harbinger is not important. I'm gonna say Cursecatcher is probably not important. They do have like Thoughtseize and Dark Ritual. Okay. I'm gonna cut 2 more cards here. Oh, this is not good. Maybe we cut 2 Force of Negations. Or maybe, actually, maybe Chalice. Like, it seems like it's okay, but, alright. This is what I'm gonna run with here. Yeah, I guess it could be something like that. Alright, kind of hope that might be the case, because it looks like then then maybe our sideboarding would be correct if we did that, so. This hand does not seem very good. This is much better. We'll keep this and put an Aether Vial on the bottom. Alright. Interesting. They do nothing here again. No Thoughtseize or no attempt to do anything, so. On my turn, are you going to do something here? Okay. That's not terrible, because I can at least pitch it to Force of Negation if need be. Urborg. Dothy Voidwalker. Okay, well, we expected that would probably be a thing. So this looks like maybe there's some Helm action going on. So probably, I think I'm gonna just like let them attack and then attempt to Trickster this thing, and then just trade with it. This seems like the kind of card that if I can get this off the table, it would be ideal. I'm willing to use Trickster to get this away. Okay, I can't respond to that. It has split second, so goodbye, Trickster. Sudden Edict's not a bad one. There's a Chrome Mox. Sure. Are they just going to go for something here? I feel like that's not the thing I'm supposed to be countering, so. Save Force of Negation, hopefully. I guess, yeah, they could just, like, have a Helm, and maybe we're in trouble. We do have a Force, though, so it's not, like, lights out just yet. But if they, like, Thoughtseize the Force away, then that could be a problem. We don't actually know that Helm is exactly what they're doing, but it could be, so. Chrome Mox makes me think that it might be. Helm costs 4 mana, so they would need to have a ritual or something to attempt it right now. And I'm curious what their hand is like. They can't play it without a ritual, so I don't know what else they could be debating here. We do have to be careful because stuff like Karn the Great Creator is a concern, so. Rotting Regisar is under that, yeah, so. I don't know if that means that it's some sort of like weird reanimator deck or something. Or if that's just like a plan B, or what the fuck is going on. It's a pretty big beater, though. Now the Helm deck plays it? Okay, then I don't know what they're debating here, but then definitely, like, yeah, we have to be worried. So the good news is that we can put 2 Lords into play this turn and see what we draw, but the Vial can get ticked up. We can put these out, start racing this. Hopefully they don't find, like, Plague Engineer. That would be terrible. And then if we could find, like, a Tide Shaper to follow it up, give ourselves Island Walk and race them that way, that would be ideal. The Glasspool can just get pitched to Force until we find a land for it, so... Or another blue card, because there might be a point where if, like, we draw a land this turn and blue card next turn, then, yeah, we might be able to just play the Glasspool Mimic and then hold a different blue card, so you can copy a Lord that way. So anybody who's not familiar with how, like, Helm of Obedience works, essentially, they're going to play something like Leyline of the Void, or in this case, like Dauthi Voidwalker, where anything that goes to your graveyard gets exiled instead. Like, they used to do this with, like, Rest in Peace, and the combo, like, the Helm makes you mill cards until you put something specific in your graveyard, but the trick is that with, like, this sort of card, none of the cards go to your graveyard, so the Helm, when activated, just mills your entire deck and you die. So that's what we're concerned about. This is 1/2 of a 2-card combo. And it is artifact based, so drawing a Null Rod would actually shut it down. Our opponent has disconnected. But they are playing, like City of Traders here to try to ramp up. There's like Dark Rituals in here. Some generic like black like creature interaction like Plague Engineer, that you can see like Sudden Edict, obviously, like, so yeah, it's pretty interesting. And I think they also play like Karn the Great Creator, so that way they have access to, they can play Karn and then find Helm from the sideboard, so effectively gives them like 7 ways to find it in the main deck. And then you couple that with your Dauthis, and if you want to play like Ley Lines, you can do that. I think this deck also plays Opposition Agent. However, it's not going to be relevant to us because we do not search our deck, so I have never really bothered to learn what the text is on Opposition Agent because I almost never play decks that actually search against it, so I never have to really worry about it. That card is more to hose, a hose like Storm or like Delver, anything that's like playing fetch lands or like tutors in their deck. So yeah, like it's probably really good against Doomsday because they do cast up like Personal Tutor. Yeah, or Doomsday itself just searches their deck, so like yeah, that's devastating. All right, come on, opponent. Yeah, I know they disconnected, but we're just waiting for them to reconnect. So yeah, yeah. Ritual Helm is a kill, but we have Force. This is correct. So right now we are not dead to Ritual Helm. We might be in. Yeah, well, if those are the last 2 cards and we have to force it, like, so be it. That's fine. But yeah, if that's the case, then it's not like hyper danger because we can still potentially like race that. Especially like at that point they'd just be top decking, and if they draw like more Voidwalkers, that that would not matter at all. If they draw more lands or like Chrome Boxes or stuff, there's a lot of cards that are just like dinks for them to top deck. So Yeah, well, that's true. Well, no, they couldn't they like activate it on my upkeep? Like that would work, right? Yeah, so I would still be dead. No, actually, no, they need one more mana to do it. So because the Helm can't be activated for 0, right? They have to activate it for 1. So I guess even if they played it, like they'd have to wait until their turn to untap with it before we'd be dead. So I guess technically, even if that was the case, we could try to like dismember this thing, but we would definitely just force Helm. So there's no reason not to do that. Yeah, because the problem is like for them, they can't activate it on their turn because they'd have to use like the Chrome Mox to cast the ritual and like this for double colorless. But yeah, they can't they activating it on their turn wouldn't do anything because this is trickstered. So they'd have to at least wait like until their turn to do it. So, but I still think if they have Ritual Helm, that they probably should just jam it regardless. Okay, they lost connection to the game due to inaction, so well, I mean, that's kind of unfortunate that our game had to end like that, but we weren't dying this turn, so at least we had an idea of what was going on. So there's that. I imagine that match is probably not easy. It's, but I don't know. It's probably not the worst thing that we have to worry about. Sure, I'm gonna keep this. Yorion the Sky Nomad, so this is probably taxes. And play Vial, and we have like Cursecatcher. So yeah, we can at least play this. Yeah, we're up against taxes here, so all right. So we play Aether Vial. Wasteland's fine-ish. They play like Cavern of Souls, and we can blow it up. There was some argument to maybe playing the Wasteland with the Vial, but I don't think I want to get cute with it because, oh my god, Urza Saga with this? That's not... Well, I definitely am glad to have Wasteland now to blow that shit up. Yes, I will show the list after this match. We'll look at it. Okay, well, we have to kill Urza Saga here, so they put Stoneforge into play. Okay, get that out of here. Actually, I should do this. I should just cast this Cursecatcher now, because I don't want to risk them having something like Containment Priest if I activate Vial. Sure. Okay, well that's sort of fine. Like if they don't have another land, we're actually in some pretty good shape. So yeah, you may as well attack with the Stoneforge. It's not going to be doing anything else. All right, now they're afraid of the Vial here. So I think that it was a pretty free attack. They should have just hit me. Okay, well that's again pretty good here. So I can just pass. Now with Vial on 2, now they should be afraid. Because now I can just start vialing in Lords, and I have Force up to... yeah, there is no fucking way that we're doing that. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not letting them protect all their stuff like that. Why did I tick up Aether Vial? Oh my god. I don't think that they're going to attack anyway. That was such a blunder. I clicked through and I ticked up Vial because I was not paying attention. Fuck. Well, they're probably going to be afraid that I have True-Name Nemesis now. But this is a problem. There's Cauldra. Alright, well, fuck. Alright, we don't... This just went sideways. You know what? You were right. I probably should have kept the Trickster, but, I got distracted by the chat and I was not paying attention to this, and that's my fault. They found their land, and now they're going to be successfully racing here. Yeah, because trickstering this thing down even for a turn would be like a huge difference maker. Swords to Plowshares on that. I need to keep my Lord in play. Sure. This has gone tits up in a hurry, and like this definitely could have been winnable if I, had played this and not screwed up with this vial, and maybe even the trickster. So it's not nothing. All right, well, I guess right now we're just looking for Island Walk, probably. I don't think they can reasonably attack me. Okay, that's interesting. So, like, Tide Shaper is probably good enough here. Another Trickster is probably good enough, too, so... Alright, come on, deck, help me. Batterskull is going to come out here, and we have like one more turn in order to find a thing, but I don't think there's any reason to play the Cavern of Souls right now. Okay, I just have to hope that I think we just need Tide Shaper at this point. If we can Island Walk our way past all this nonsense, we can win. They're definitely going to attack with this turn because now they have Stoneforge Mystic and to put Batterskull into play if we just attack with everything. Plus presumably another 2-drop to put in play, so this is like the last turn that we can find this thing. That's not really what I need here. I don't think I'm beating this plus the Batterskull. It's not going to happen. That was unfortunate. I think if I maybe if I had like if I had the Lord in play a turn sooner, that actually could have had. Yeah, that could have actually been like a real game, but I did screw that up. So, oops. And Cursecatcher's not terribly good here. I guess there is a question of whether I consider Recall or maybe even Null Rod. Maybe one Chalice is still better than the Cursecatcher. That's close. Like, Force in general is not very good. Oh, well, I guess we'll just keep the pressure. It's not immediately clear to me that we were necessarily destined to win that if we hadn't made a mistake, but we could have been well on our way to doing so. This is not actually that bad. This is very possible that I actually just try to mana screw them with like Wasteland and Tide Shaper. I have Dismember for this Cauldron thing, so even Borrower. I think I'm inclined to keep this. This doesn't look too bad here. I don't think I'm gonna play Tide Shaper in turn 1 though. I'm gonna if they play Mother of Runes, I have to Dismember that, so we just play Island Pass. We're kind of yeah, I guess I don't know. Let's see what they have in turn 1. If they just play planes and pass, that's not a good sign because it means they probably have like swords to plowshares. Aether Vial, I mean, yeah, I guess. Alright, well, Merfolk. So Vial ticks up here. There's port. Okay. I assume they're going to try to port me. Makes sense. Do I really care about this? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to Wasteland them here. I could bounce the Aether Vial too. Oh, fuck. I did not need to pass that. I don't know why that happened. No, I needed to do this still at my end step. I guess it's because I didn't have a stop there for me to get priority yet. That sucks. No, I needed to respond to the vial by like putting a stop in my end step so I'd be able to do that. God damn it. Well, today is just not my day. If I bounce, yeah, this is not really gonna work here. All right, well, might be able to get a read on what they have in their hand at least. Seems like maybe nothing. The way MTGO works is like very, very different from paper. Like in paper, like it's really easy to say, okay, after you vial, I want to do something, but in this case, I actually would have had to specifically like respond by putting a stop here in order for me to get priority before they untap, which is just it's a really clunky way of doing that, but I guess I don't know. It's gonna be hard to deal with this Mother of Runes now. And here they can just find like Skyclave Apparition. They'll probably just kill Tideshaper, I assume. So I can use Otawara to bounce this thing. The problem is I don't really have a good attack because Skyclave is going to come in here and definitely like eat either the Tideshaper or the Hexcatcher. And I can't use the Dismember until I deal with it. So I kind of want to set up like being able to bounce this thing and then on my next turn use Petty Theft plus the Dismember. There's no good attack here. This thing being in play has just made this game like way harder. If I was able to dismember this earlier, that would have been amazingly easier. But you're gonna get rid of the Hexcatcher. That's interesting. Oh, that's not good. They have another one of these? Flicker Wisp? Oh, that's really bad. They're gonna blink their planes. Okay. So I don't have Island Walk anymore. And it's not gonna come back. I don't know why they did that. I guess they're just gonna tick it up so they can get to Urion. Okay. I guess I could block this thing. If they give a protection, then I can dismember it. It's not exactly a great use of Dismember, though, at this point. Now, all of these things are just going to be very hard. I could bounce this thing, I guess, with Harbinger here. That's not a terrible plan. But it doesn't, like... I don't know. I guess if they give this protection, that's fine. Otherwise, like... They'll probably tap this regardless, so... I think this is okay. Worst case, I can block this thing. Get the Recruiter off the board. They can't recast the Skyclave this turn, so it's not that big a deal. I get my token back. They do not make any attempt to save that. That's good. Okay, Spirit of the Labyrinth, that's fine. So this is not a bad turn to Petty Theft the Aether Vial because then it means they can't get Yorion here. Hmm. Yeah, okay. I guess it's not terrible to send in the token. Because then if they like block, then I can exchange the Dismember with the Mother of Runes. They do not. Okay. Let's get rid of the Aether Vial here. So I don't want them taking that thing up to 5 and then having Urion next turn. Skyclave comes back. Yeah. Sure, it's probably going to eat Harbinger, so... No, they go after the Tide Shaper. That's really surprising. I can't fathom why you would want that over the Harbinger. Alright, let them attack. I will Trickster down this thing. And that will kind of inform my choices here. I think I'm supposed to just take this for right now. It's not a bad draw. This is my opportunity to use the Dismember, and then I can either cast Brazen Borrower or Lord of Atlantis. I could I don't think I'm supposed to dismember this. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to get rid of the Mother of Runes and just hope they don't have another one. Can attack with the Harbinger and the Trickster as 3/3s, which means this is a terrible block. Like, that does seem like a pretty good plan. And leave the illusion token back to block the Spirit of the Labyrinth. Alright. That's what we got here. We're not far from victory. They have 2 cards left, so they can't protect their creatures anymore, and our board is now getting to be... it's matching theirs, and we're a little bit ahead of them, I think. Especially with the Borrower here. We have Otawara to interact, so... If we bounce like one of these things in the following turn, that could be fine. Sure, they're going to cycle Timeless Dragon. Okay. They have a Plains, which they will play here. Alright. Council's Judgment. Oh, alright. They vote for Lord of Atlantis. I vote for Lord of Atlantis. Alright, well, the Spirit of the Labyrinth is not attacking me, so... They have 1 card left, so... What is it going to be? I think... Let's see. They have 7 to attack me here, but I do have Otawara, so... Like, they can block, yeah. I don't really want to bounce the Flicker Wisp. I kind of want to... Well, I can't bounce the Spirit of the Labyrinth here either. The Otawara is a little bit awkward to use right now. But I need to attack them with something. I can flash in the Brazen Borrower to try to block this Flicker Wisp. Yeah, I'm trying to think about how I can trade Borrower for Flicker Wisp. But I may need to attack with something else here. Like, I think attacking with the illusion token is not out of the question. They have 1 card left, so it could be like a Thalia or something, which would not be great for us. But them being, like, yeah, they're not quite close enough to dead for my liking. bouncing the Skyclave is not really ideal, so they might just trade Skyclave with this thing. No, okay, what do we got? It is Thalia here. Which is... I think I still need to play the Borrower, sadly. Alright, their last card was Thalia. I guess if they attack with everything, I can, like, block these two, Borrower, block this one, and then maybe we can find a way back into this, but it's going to be hard. Alright. I think I had to test them, though. Just hope they didn't draw anything terribly relevant, so... Urza Saga is not something I'm very happy to see. Alright, begin your combat. Maybe just Thalia attacks alone. They're going in with Flicker Wisp, okay. No, they're not even sure if they want to attack, alright? No attacks at all. Well, here's the thing. Anything that I use Otawara to bounce is not actually going to help me. Because I can just vial it back in immediately. Well, they've got nothing else to do here, so you may as well just pass. You have no cards, so I guess they're debating if they want to put Yorion in hand, which, yeah, they may as well. Oh, they're eternalizing the Timeless Dragon, okay. And probably this is a better use of my mana here. If they port me, I can just use the mana for Borrower. I could bounce the Saga, but I obviously have to bounce the 4/4 token. It's way more important. You cast Borrower here. Not terrible, but it's not great either. Again, with Thalia here, I can't really attack. I think I just have to play Harbinger as a dink at the moment. Is this going to help me here? Because they're going to... Yeah, they're definitely going to put a token in here. Maybe I have to save Harbinger for that. They still have 0 cards. But one of these vials is definitely ticking up to 5, and then Urion's going to be a threat. Unfortunately, Saga is probably going to find Shadow Spear next turn. And they're going to have a reasonably sized construct token to put it on. Even the Flicker Wisp is not going to... Yeah, it's going to be a problem. Like, fucking Urza Saga is just going to hurt us really bad again. Yep, there's that. We don't have a Vial on 2 anymore, so... They're not willing to make any attacks, so... Do not have a lot of good options here. That's not really an option. I mean, I could, like, attack with the Brazen Borrower, and they can trade it with the Flicker Wisp, I guess. They might not actually block, though. There's a possibility of that. Alright, they are going to trade it. I'm running out of options really quickly here. They have way too many threats, and I'd have, like, nothing to fight this. Which they can definitely, like, make a big attack this turn. Yorion is now a threat here. They're going to, like, find Shadow Spear, make another Construct token. There's not really much we can do about it, so... Yep. Well, the good news is they're equipping it to the Construct token for some reason. Okay, this is definitely an opening, but it's probably not enough. Oh no, my screen is fading. Eh. Alright, there we go. We're... bouncing this Construct for sure. But it's still not going to matter because Urion's going to come into play and equip the Shadow Spear, so... I don't know how helpful this actually is in the end. I don't even know if there's like a good way that we can block this, and yeah, because there's nothing we can really draw here because they're gonna have Urion plus this, which they can equip, and I struggle to fathom what we could possibly find here that's gonna let us win this game. They are currently attacking us for 7, so I do have to actually block something. I think we have just, yeah, there's nothing really. Skyclave is just going to come back, yeah. Solitude, okay, that's even worse. Alright, cool. Yeah, it was brutal. Taxes got us. It's hard sometimes, and definitely if I could have dismembered that thing a lot earlier, I think that we would have had a much better chance. But that's a mistake on me, and that one mistake, like just missing that one stupid fucking pause on the end step, like had a huge effect in that game. I really, really, really dislike the MTGO interface. It's like objectively the worst way to play Magic, in my opinion. So, but it is also basically the only way to practice, so we have to do it. It's just part of how it goes. This is, I guess this is okay. All right, we'll keep Arena more. Yeah, well, I do hate Arena more for sure. There's a reason I don't play Arena like at all at this point. I don't even like sign in to get the free rewards. Like it very rarely. Like even if they're giving away gold, it's like not worth my time. Oh my god. Okay, this is bad. It's definitely not a match that we want to see for this. Wastelanding this flagstone is just not going to work out for us at all. Which means we're probably up against depths, if I had to imagine. Yeah, we are. Okay. Neat. Fuck, we are so dead. We are like a bajillion% dead against this. Okay. You know, killing flagstones is not gonna work, so Cursecatcher is not really gonna work either. Okay, well, I mean, this is a matchup where I think Harbinger is probably better than Silvergill Adept, but it's still probably not good enough to make a difference. Because it's just really bad. Like, at any point, if they just, like, crop rotate us, we just aren't screwed. They are definitely going to crack this on flagstones for sure. I guess I just have to play Lord. I can't attack. And then next turn we play Wasteland, and then either Trickster or Tide Shaper, one of the two. There's Savannah, so at least they have depths. All right. Well, if they, yeah, like, okay, so if they just pass to us in the anticipation of doing this on our end step, Wasteland will work. Oh, never mind. They just have stage here. Okay, again, if they just, like, pass to us to give us a chance, they should not let me play a land here. Okay, well, now it's too late, so. I guess I can attack here, and then if they try to, like, block and sacrifice something, I can just trickster it. Make it, yeah, all right. Hope that this works. Crop rotation. Oh, that's not. That means they are probably going to get, like, Maze of Ith, I assume? They might give it protection from blue. Yeah, okay, that's what they're going to do here. Alright, well, that sucks. They had crop rotation that's awful, but I mean, it's gotta be okay. Well, they're not going to be getting a Merit Lodge at least. They're targeting Island with this thing? I mean, sure, it can be an island, I guess. I don't know why you would want to give me Island Walk. Are you just trying to psych me out? What's going on here? Oh, you know what? Okay, that makes sense. Well, there's Mince and Boo. Yeah, you're right, because it's a basic land here. I guess that means I'm supposed to just be killing this Dark Depth before this thing untaps. Or no, well, no, I just have to blow up the land when they target this thing, right? And then it won't become a copy of it. Yeah, alright. They get their stupid hamster. Yep. Interesting. Okay, I don't have a choice. I have to take this, I think. I don't think there's any reason to do this right now. I really kind of need Harbinger. Alright, what's gonna have to happen here is I think I'm gonna have to... I think I need to Wasteland this thing and then just hold up this other Wasteland. This can find another depth, but as long as I have a Wasteland to use in response to this activation, I'm not dead to that. This has to -2, but they're going to just add another bunch of counters to this, so I probably need to, deal at least 2 damage to this thing. Then Trickster this down and take another hit from this, and then hopefully I can kill this guy. I guess it's safe to do this now. This is very difficult, though. The hamster is going to continue to get out of control. They might even put the counters on the Reclaimer, which would actually be worse, I think. No, they are going to put it on the hamster. Okay. That's actually good for us because it means if we top deck Harbinger that we can clean this up pretty easily. You're going to sacrifice flagstones. What does this mean? Do you have like another one of these things in your deck? I didn't know. I was under the impression they only played one. But it is entirely possible that they have multiples. It would suck if they do. They do. Oh god. That means... Okay, well, we definitely need, like, Harbinger of the Tides right now, or we're gonna die. Okay, top deck Harbinger or we lose, pretty much. That is awful. Okay. I definitely could not deal with that. Like, I couldn't deal with these two, let alone that. True-Name Nemesis is not going to do anything because this has Trample, so I don't really have any good way to win this at this point. Both of these Reclaimers are just threatening to win the game by themselves. Like, I am actually just lost on this board state. This is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Can't beat this. Chalice is not really what we want for this matchup. We need Dismember. I guess Brazen Borrower is not bad, and I guess Elemental Blast maybe. I don't know how many of these minces that they have. It's probably not many. Or maybe Force of Negation. Even that's like... Actually, no. Unlicensed Hearse is probably got to be fine here, right? Cut one of these Glasspool Mimics. At least, keeping the graveyard small means that stuff like Knight of the Reliquary and the Reclaimer don't get really big. So, all right. This is not great. We don't really have, good ways to beat this deck. Sure. No, yeah, I'm not a fan of Reclaimer either, for sure. It's very hard. Our deck is meant to like fight stuff like Delver and Storm. It is not very good against these kind of decks. This is also what I mean though. Like, look at Silvergill Adept in this matchup. It is fucking useless. At least Harbinger sometimes does something. Like, it's got to be better than Gil for this. Yeah, it's just not gonna be better than yeah. Silver Gil is just like terrible. It just might not be good enough for this. So okay, they do nothing in turn one. Well, this might mean that they have like Swords of Plowshare, so I'm just gonna play the Unlicensed Terse since we just drew it. Means any lands they sacrifice, I can keep the graveyard small for. Okay, they might be just playing for like Mince and Boo here. I guess I'm just gonna flash in a Trickster in their turn. Yeah, no, them just playing a bunch of lands and then mints is definitely a way to win. We are in a lot of trouble, though, if they just happen to have, like, crop rotation. So we have no Wasteland or any way to fight against them just having depths. Still nothing? That cannot be good for us, right? That's gotta be bad. Okay. This definitely looks like crop rotation to me. So I probably need to have Trickster here, which means I have to think about how I sequence this. I really want to give myself Island Walk, so I think I need to play Glasspool Mimic so I can then potentially play like Hexcatcher or Trickster this turn, and then give myself Island Walk yeah. One of these I am playing this turn, and then the next turn I am playing both Tideshaper and the other one. It has to be like that. They've got to have it, though, right? There's no way that they kept a hand like this that doesn't have it. Like, they have to have another one, too. I mean... no, I guess this is going to happen. Dismember might keep me alive for, like, a turn. Sure. I am trying my absolute best to steal this game. Pyroblast. That's not good. I don't know that I'm going to have enough pressure to actually kill them now. Well, I can try to go to 1 with Dismember. If they have, like, Veil of Summer, I'm dead. Or if they have another crop rotation. But they just literally have, like, everything they need here. God damn it. Alright. You got it, opponent. You wanted it more than we did. Goblins in depths. This is not helping us. Yeah, Texas is not. It's not like the worst match, but I would not say Texas is exactly a good match either. Where the fuck are all? We haven't played against one island deck this entire time, have we? Like, Merfolk needs islands in order to thrive in the metagame, and right now in this league, we are not seeing any islands at all. Well, this is not great. Yeah, like, this match is terrible. We did it as literally as much as we could possibly hope for. So if it's, I don't know. Yeah, do people play Islands in Legacy anymore? That's a fantastic question. I'm beginning to wonder myself. I think they do in paper a lot more than they do online. I will tell you that my experience playing Legacy in paper is that people are much more inclined to play their islands than they are online, because I think that there's a lot more feeling of investment when you sink all your money into, like, Underground Sea or Volcanic Island, and you really want to play with them. So, but online, people just do whatever the fuck they want. So, oh, I meant to show off the list. I'm gonna keep this. I did promise I would show the list off. So, here. Somebody had asked earlier, and I did say that yeah. So this is what we are playing right now. So, we'll look at it once we're done again too. I think I said that a match ago, but pre-combat main phase play Cavern of Souls, Merfolk, Aether Vial, and Prey. I will definitely say, like, I have done way better in paper for, Legacy with Merfolk than anywhere else. Yeah, just because I said people really like playing their islands in paper. There's some, maybe it's just me, but I've always noticed some difference between that. So, Wasteland on my Cavern of Souls. So that's not good. Oh, come on! This is another Mox Diamond deck. We are so dead. Pitching Ancient Tomb, so it's not exactly great. I guess there's not really a good draw except maybe Island. Alright, well, we're fucked. Okay. And if anything bad happened to this Aether Vial, we just lose the game, so. Well, that's also the thing. Yeah, you're right. Like, in paper, people tend to screw around a lot less because there's more money on the line. So you will see a lot more, like, blue-red Delver there for sure. I'm gonna abrupt decay my Vial. Is that what's happening? This is like a recurring nightmare for me. It's like, oh god, no, not abrupt decay and Vial, please, anything with that. Oh, it's Life from the Loam. Oh god, this is lands, isn't it? This is actual, like, lands. This is a very bad matchup. There's so many ways this can go wrong. Alright, what are we doing? Yeah, Tabernacle being 50 cents online definitely has a huge effect on it. We did not play versus a single island deck this entire night. I am very afraid that my opponent has Punishing Fire, but there's not really a whole lot I can do about it. I have to keep this on 2 right now. I guess let's attack. I don't know. I'm going to do this now. I guess if they had it, they could have used the Mox Diamond, but whatever. Alright, well. Oh. Oh, it's Endurance. It's actually even worse. Okay, sure. Like, this is just terrible. They just had fucking Endurance in their hands. Just a hard cast. Neat. No, you know what? I was kind of like, they didn't even block it? What? Wow. Ultimate disrespect. They're just like, I care so little about your game right now that I am not even going to kill your Lord of Atlantis. Like, it definitely, yeah, I don't know. Like, they had the mana up, so I guess I wasn't really, like, playing around it at all, but I was just hoping that, maybe they would screw up somehow. But even worse, like, yeah, them being able to hardcast Endurance was even worse. I could have, like, trickstered this thing down, so at least then my creatures wouldn't die. But instead, they just forget to block, so that's kind of weird. There's a Sylvan Library. Oh god. Alright. Well, they can't block now, because now if they block, another Lord is just going to get them. I mean, we're dead to, like, them just having Tabernacle at any given moment here, so... You should have did this before. If they just play like Tabernacle, the game is over. or like crop rotation finding it also is good enough here, so I can't really afford to like play around it. I just need them not to have it, because like if they do, like I'm not coming back from this. They already have stage, like the best I can do is try to threaten to kill them next turn, and if they have the crop rotation and I don't do this, they're just going to get a Merit Lodge, so that's not exactly helping. That works. Yeah, Expedition Map, they can crack that and find it right now. I guess they could also get a Maze of Ith. They could play that. And Maze one of my No, but like they took the damage here, right? So now they just get Tabernacle. Okay, we lose. Well, alright, you know what? We should play it because it's possible, because they're at 7, so right, I'm not going to give up just yet. Alright. We will try. Okay. It's unlikely at best. Why do I have to click no for this twice? That is ridiculous. Yes to this one. And, no to this one? Actually, I'm kind of wondering, like, am I supposed to put True-Name in here so I can, like, attack with that next turn and get a 5? I don't think that it matters. No, Well, okay, no, if I draw a land, actually, that would work. I'm trying to think. Okay, let's see, if I don't, if I just attack them with Lord of Atlantis, they go down, they could potentially, yeah, they go down here to, 4. I still would need to draw a land. They go to 5, like, I don't know, I'm going to I guess I'm gonna tick this up. Put True-Name in play, put them to 5, and then I don't know, hope for the best. Fuck. That actually does count. Because that does mean I can pay for the Lord and True-Name. I'm still vulnerable to a lot of things, but this gives me a chance. Like, it is theoretically possible to kill them this turn. Alright. This also technically gives me the line if I draw the other Glasspool Mimic. I can pay 1 for the or the True-Name here, Vial in Hexcatcher, and if I draw the other Glasspool Mimic, I can also copy the Hexcatcher, and then True-Name could attack for 5, even if something happened to Lord of Atlantis right now. But this also, like, if nothing bad happens, then if they're planning to just try to block, then I can pay for True-Name and Lord, and then Trickster down anything that attempts to block me. Well, Maze of Ith is going to definitely hit the Lord here, so I guess, yeah, True-Name is just going to have to try to get it done. All right. Because they can't maze the True-Name. That's I guess, yeah, I should have mentioned that. Like, True-Name cannot be mazed of Ith, so. All right, so we are going to pay for the True-Name. We do want to tick this one up, and we do not want to tick this up. Sure. Oh god, we fucking did it. That was incredible. They have 5 cards in hand, like, with fucking everything they could possibly want in their life. And we still managed to get there. Alright. True-Name Nemesis was the truth. Okay. Alright. Let's go. uh, okay, I think Force of Negation is good against Life from the Loam. I think Chalice of the Void is supposed to come out. I want to say that that's what we got to do here. Oh no, we need Unlicensed Hearse. This is definitely important for this matchup. Cursecatcher, you are useless here. I think Chalice is not useless because, like, lands, yeah, the crop rotation is definitely a threat. But I think Force of Negation is actually slightly better than the Force of Will too. I think we're taking out Chalice here, and we take out, like, I don't know, are we cool with like 5 forces? Uh, like, I don't know, the rest of this is not amazing. Oh, God. We have to keep I think we have to keep True-Name Nemesis. I could take out Harbinger. That's not unreasonable. We have 30 creatures. We don't need that many. Yeah, this does seem like a lot of forces, but the thing is, like, if any of their actual spells resolve, we're in a lot of trouble. I'm taking out the Harbingers. I don't know that it does because, again, like, We'll see. I am kind of like Harbinger is rarely going to be able to do its thing against lands because they can go after your mana very hard if they choose to. So that is definitely a constant threat. There's Thespian Stage. Oh god, alright, well. Sure, the Mox Diamond is not the important one. Glacial Chasm is an important one, though, so if they cast, like, Life from the Loam, I have to force that. Okay, well, that's sort of helpful. I don't know that if playing Tideshaper is if that's actually correct to do right now. Turning their lands into islands is not, like, the worst idea. But I kind of need some pressure against them, though. Alright, I'm going to put this in play, because if with the Hexcatchers, there's actually value in having bodies on the board. And this other Tideshaper is likely to get pitched to a force. I don't want them to see Wasteland yet, because they also have Wasteland, which they can use to preemptively blow up mine, enabling them to combo off, so... Yep, Forest here. Choke? I have to force this. Oh, whoops. I need to have my islands, or otherwise I have no chance of victory here. If they play Dark Depths right now, I am vulnerable. But I have... I don't know. We'll see. I want to put this in play while I still have the opportunity to get damage in. I don't think they're quite there yet, but I could be wrong. Alright, they have 4 cards. Let's see. What do we got? If they just play Depths right now, that would be terrible. If they were smart, like if they had Depths, they would just play it and then do it on their turn. Yeah, because if you pass to me and I play Wasteland, like then you don't have an opportunity to actually do it. We do have to be worried about some stuff like Punishing Fire killing off our creatures, which sucks, but putting some amount of pressure in play is important because they do have they will inevitably win a game if it goes long enough, and it's because of cards like this. They can stall out the game fucking forever with stuff like Life from the Loam. If they play Life from the Loam, I can force it, which means they won't get it back. The exile part against Life from the Loam is extremely important. That's why we burned Force of Will on the choke. Even though Force of Will is better against the crop rotation, I think Force of Negation matters more. Oh, god damn it. Are they going to do it now? No, if they pass back to me and let me play Wasteland, that would be fantastic. Okay. Well, opponent, that was a mistake. See, that kind of went exactly like how I thought it would. They got greedy because they wanted to do it on my end step, and the me playing Wasteland meant that there was no way they could actually get away with it. But I can't just jam this Hexcatcher right now because of that. I need the mana for the Force of Negation. Or I need the blue card for it. I might play this at the end of their turn, though. Now that I have Wasteland in play to like stop this, then it might be worth trying to just jam in a clock. But I do put myself in some amount of danger if I do it, so. The thing is, I can't protect, like, I won't be able to protect myself in this turn with it anyway, so. At least not, if they have something at instant speed in my turn, yeah, like, Force is not going to help me there. And if I draw another island, I can just cast it anyway, so. Any island or blue card, like, turns Force back on. But the clock might matter more. Lands, I don't think is quite as bad as, like, the actual Depths deck. There's a little bit more kind of, they're a little bit slower most of the time, and so you have more chances to build up a game plan. And they don't have, like, the plan B of just, yeah, they can't just, like, attack you with, like, Knight of the Reliquaries and, Reclaimers that easily, so. They're playing a much slower, more controlling game with stuff like Maze of Ith and Glacial Chasm to slow you down, Tabernacle to keep the board clear, and then their removal packages like, Punishing Fire and then Grove of the Burn Willows to keep the, to also help, pick off the creature, so. They're not as, like, all in on this turbo depths plan usually. There are hands where they can do that, though, for sure. Like, so they're really carefully debating upon how they play through this Wasteland here. And it's also possible they have something like Mince and Boo in their hand and they can't play that, because I do think they play some copies of that card. But if they have that, then yeah, like even playing a land and playing Mince and Boo, like the Hexcatcher just counters it, so. They're going to crop rotate here. I think I am supposed to force this. Exploration, uh-huh. Alright, I can kill the Thespian stage right now, and they can't really do anything about it, so. That's not going to actually help them at all. They have 2 cards in hand, and I don't think they have another land. All right, they had nothing to follow it up. Excellent. There we go. That was an extremely hard league. Very difficult. But, I mean, Glasspool Mimic actually did something useful for a change. And instead of just being a random land, it being able to copy a creature was actually quite useful. I enjoyed that a lot. I mean, I feel like Harbinger is probably better than Silvergill in all of those matches. Like, Gil is just I don't know, it's terrible in combat against all of them. At least Harbinger does something relevant. Like, it helps try to shift the tide of combat back into our favor, a little bit at least. So, I don't know. We played against no island decks, so stuff like Cursecatcher is not very good against this. But if we go up against like Storm, Delver, Doomsday, Cursecatcher matters a hell of a lot more. So there's that. Same thing with like the Hexcatcher. It matters a lot more against those other decks. It wasn't bad here though, because we did see like it being a Lord we can flash in did help a little bit. The hearse is fine. I like this. I'm not sure if I'm like, yeah, this is still kind of an iffy card to me. I don't know if we necessarily need it, but I don't know. I think that we probably just have to try this again. Like, those pairings were a little bit rough. The only other thing that I've thought about is maybe something like Gut Shot in the sideboard as well. So, could be a consideration. Um, yeah, I don't. I thought it like to some extent. I'm thinking about cards that are like good against Death and Taxes. So, because Death and Taxes is a match where if you're playing a tournament, you should expect that you're going to play against it at least once or twice. It's a fairly popular deck with a lot of people. It's pretty good. It's pretty high. It's decently up there in the metagame. And I don't think I've ever played a legacy event in my life where somebody hasn't been playing Taxes against me. So you need to have a good plan for it. And like, we have some stuff to fight against it. And like, if they don't have like great hands, then we can definitely punish them for it, depending. But I don't know. We're definitely. I don't know. It's hard to say if the Harbinger is enough to help interact against it. Definitely stuff like Mother of Runes, like coming out early, is very hard, and you need to be able to answer that quickly. So it's one of the reasons that I would consider maybe having another Dismember in the sideboard as well. Just more removal for the creature so that I can kill off the creatures before it like Mother of Runes turns all the removal off. It would be helpful. But like I said, even Gut Shot would be like a consideration for that. Dismember is probably the way to go though over like Gut Shot. So I don't know, it's hard to say. I don't know. Overall though, like the list seemed like it was fine. I don't think that there was anything necessarily fundamentally wrong with this. Just we had some hard matches and we did our best in some of them, but yeah, that's just how it is. Like, especially like I said, the difference between paper and online, at least like on the East Coast where I played, like way more people play like island decks in paper and they have for like my entire legacy career. So when I'm playing in paper, I expect that I will see a lot more stuff like Delver and I will feel a lot more comfortable. And that's usually like why my paper tournament records tend to be better than MTGO. It's one, there's no stress of like playing online and just getting distracted by the chat, and there's no like MTGO clunk getting in the way of you doing the plays that you want to do. But also like then, yeah, I really do feel like the paper metagame is usually suited to Merfolk a little bit more than it is online. Because yeah, people will just fucking do whatever they want online, and I don't know. They just like to experiment in the league because like the cards are way more available. Whereas if you're buying a legacy deck in paper, you're probably stuck with it for quite some time because most people cannot afford to just spend like $3,000-$4,000 on like a bunch of blue dual lands and then decide, you know what, actually I'm not gonna play that for this event. So so yeah, I will probably, I don't know if I'm gonna change very much here, but I will probably just run at the something very close to the 75 again next week. So like I said, I need to get more practice in. Like even just seeing like what decks are out there and like what new cards have been adapted to it is very helpful. So like even if we're not necessarily winning, knowing that there's stuff like the mono black helm list running around and seeing what kind of cards they play in it, that's very helpful because then it helps you recognize in paper and you have a much better plan when you're at the tournament for it. So the practice helps win or lose just because you're getting more acquainted with the metagame as it is, and you're getting more acquainted with all the new cards from the new sets that are out. Because I don't know about you guys, but I can't keep up with like all the product releases. Like, I'm sure that there's a lot of good cards in the Brothers War set that's coming out, but like I can't be bothered to like actually look through it and know what all of them are. There's like way too many things, like all the commander cards that come out and like affect this format, and like there's no possible way that I'm gonna like spend all my time looking through all these stuff. Like there's too much. Like there was a point where it's like, okay, I have a reasonable idea of like what the new cards are that are going to like potentially affect things. There way too many things come out now to be able to like keep up with it. So the chances that you're going to get surprised by a card now, especially like right after a set releases, way higher. So yeah, you never know. Paper Legacy means the possibility of playing against attractions.deck. Jesus, no, nope. I do not. No, 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 no. I do not like it. I don't want to deal with that. If my opponents are playing with stickers and attractions at fucking Eternal Weekend, I am gonna lose it. Please, no, not that. I can't deal with that. Like, and that's another thing. Like, maybe there are like stickers that I need to be aware of because if somebody plays, a thing, it might matter to me that to know what all the stickers are. But like, I'm not gonna look through the sticker sheets. I'm sorry. Like, there might be an edge to be gained there, like a 0.005%, edge by knowing what all the stickers and stuff are. But like, I'm not spending my time reading through 48 sheets of stickers just to theoretically know what the 10 best for any given situation are going to be. It's too much and it is not worth the time. It is better off just like playing through here and just seeing stuff. So yeah, it's uh, my attitude towards that has definitely declined a little bit. As I've gone on, like there was a point where I would have cared a lot more about like getting every single possible half of a percent, but it's at this point it's like it's there's a calculation between the amount of effort that you're going to do with that and the amount of return on that time, and it's just like if that's what's necessary, then I don't want to do it. So this I think like just playing here and just seeing what's out there and just seeing the cards firsthand like in a league is worth way more time investment wise. So you get a better idea of what people actually are doing. So there we go. This is what I'm playing. Unfinity is a good point to draw that line. Yes, definitely. Absolutely agree with that. Like, I don't want to know what's in Unfinity, and if somebody is playing that, then like that's the point where I have to start questioning why I'm playing Legacy at that point. So oh well. Let's all right. Let's see what's going on. All right. I think all right, we have to go find somebody else who's doing stuff right now. Let's see. You know who we haven't like raided basically ever, I think. I don't know. I don't think we've ever raided Spider Space. I think he's playing a modern combo deck right now, but we'll go and check that out. So that's all we're doing for today. We'll play more Legacy next week, probably with the same list, unless somebody gives me a really good reason to change something. So I appreciate all of you being here with me. It means a lot that everybody just show up. Makes it way more entertaining. So if you are watching the replay on YouTube, please do me a favor and click the thumbs up button. That's all I ask. I don't beg for money or anything. I just beg for your attention. So the clicking the thumbs up is good enough for me. And I always read through all the comments and try to respond to them. So by all means, if you see something or you want to mention something or ask a question, I always check because I care about the people who invest the time to go and check my stuff out. So thank you all for being here with me. But it is time for us to depart now. So we're gonna go watch Spider Space. So let's get our raid started. All right. We got 5 seconds in this. All right, cool. More Legacy next week. All right, let's take it easy, everybody.